this match maybe that you wanted or envisioned it might be?
Yeah, it was. I felt like it was a soccer game. It was two teams. Neither of them really wanted to expose themselves. I think both teams respected the other, and it was the tempo was kind of controlled. Each team had its moments. I thought we had a few more, some chances that we would like to have back probably. But a very different game than last week's game, where guys were being chased around the field. Today was a little bit more. I feel like structured game, if you will, and so. Yeah, I'm really pleased with our guys. I thought our shape defensively was good for the vast majority of the night. We strung together some good attacks. It's game two, so if this is what we're building from on game two, then we've got a lot to look forward to, but a lot to continue to work towards. So, and this season is a journey and a process, and so we take away what we need to from tonight and continue to build next week as we play home again. And these home games for us is, what we talked about, are all very important. So we'll build off of this.
Greg, when did you tell Achara he was going in, and what did you think of what he gave?
Yesterday in training, Suba blocked a shot and didn't really. He was a little slow getting up, but finished the training session. This morning I got a text saying that he was pretty sore when he woke up, and so his knee MCL, right? And so he got here. We tested him. He couldn't move laterally really, which is the challenge sometimes when you get a little bit of an MCL strain of some sort. Then it was Achara, you're in. So it was probably, I don't know, maybe 90 to 100 minutes away from game time, and he was ready to go. So, but what I have to say, tonight he was fantastic. I mean, he's been fantastic since the day he arrived in preseason in LA. He missed the first portion of training camp in Orlando because he was sick, couldn't come across the border for the second part in Toronto, and then met us in Los Angeles. And from the day he arrived, he's shown that he fits in, that he's talented, that he's a smart player. He can adapt within the game, can read plays, can play on the move. As we saw tonight, he's got soft feet even when he's playing on the run. And he's got a nose for goal. He scored twice tonight, really, right? So, and he scored in just about every preseason, maybe every preseason game he scored leading up to the season. So he's a wide player that can do all the things that we need him to do, and then he's got a nose for putting himself in goal-scoring positions. And he had another one kind of picked out of the top corner, if you recall. So he had quite a night. It shows you the confidence he has, but also I think the composure and the even though he's a young guy, he's got a lot of experience under his belt. He came to the U.S. when he was 15 years old from Nigeria, and you can tell he's a man. He understands what life is about, and he shows that when he's on the field.
A couple of days ago, you voiced appreciation for New York City's distinct style of play. How important it is for you as a manager that other people recognise what your team manages to achieve tactically?
I think it's, I hope that people appreciate it. I hear, from people around the world in various ways that they like the way we play, they like to watch our team, that we attack, that they can see the principles in what we do, and they recognize that. And so, it's less, I'm less concerned about it in the big picture, as long as our players understand it and they execute and they work together on both sides of the ball. Then I'm comfortable with that. If we can go out and get results in big games and be able to adapt when games aren't the way we want them, but be able to adapt to games in different ways and win games in different ways. But underneath all that, we have a style of play that we shoot for, and that's important to us, and it's our identity, and we stick to that. And that's why all these guys are here, and not many guys really want to leave, and we try to keep the group together because they've come together, they've grown together, they understand what we're trying to do, and we keep building off of that.
Right, what does it mean to you to have 100 wins with this team?
I'm pleased for what the 100 wins stands for. Over the course of this 100 wins, we've raised trophies, many of them. We've played in 8 finals in just the last 4 years. We've been in it every single year. We've won a Supporter Shield and MLS Cup. It's all 100 of them are special in their own way, tonight included. And I'm happy for the guys that I get to work with, because they're the ones who win the games. You know, I try to set them up to understand what the game's going to look like and try to give them as much preparation as I can, but when the game starts, they're the ones that execute, they're the ones that step on the field and make it happen. And you know, a lot of these guys have been here since the first win and are here still, and you know, I'm proud of them. That's what it's about at the end of the day. My job is just to help organize them and give them a framework in which to go win games.
Greg, how important is it to see out the 1-0 win after conceding late last week?
Yeah, it was important. You know, I thought last week, after we scored both goals, we were vulnerable for the next 5 or 10 minutes. We gave away goals in each of those, and so I was happier with our ability to kind of control things. Even after we scored the late goal, the last few minutes we were able to control the game pretty good. We were able to still get pressure on the ball ahead of the back line. Even though they played some balls direct, they weren't easy, clear passes direct. We were able to sustain some pressure, win the game in a professional manner, not win the game by defending balls that were, you know, in front of our goal and our goalkeeper having to make saves. So it was nice. We have to continue that mindset, continue to learn from tonight and build from it. But it was nice to finish the game out in kind of a clean fashion, if you will.
Chara seems like a pretty versatile player. What's his best position for you, and both now and maybe evolving into the future?
He is very versatile. He's an attacking player, for sure. I like him on the wings because I think he can beat you on the outside, he can beat you on the inside. He's got great timing with his runs. Even from the outside, he gets himself to the back post and in goal-scoring positions, which is not always the case for all wingers. And but he's also capable of playing as a 9 or under a 9, and we used him in those roles in training sometimes. He really is an intelligent player for a young man who is just coming out of college. I've given him a bunch of different things to think about, defending in different ways, showing up in different pockets, keeping width, coming into the half zones, different things, pressing from the weak side. He applies it all very quickly. So he's nice. It's nice to work with because not all players who just come into the professional environment pick up on things so easily, and he's one who has. And I just think he's got great instincts for the game, and he's a good attacking player. Can play in any of the positions. I like him a lot.
It seems like Richard Larray you often turn to him off the bench. Is that, how much is that, I guess, I'm trying to say, sort of help you have another asset, I guess, to go to off the bench?
Yeah, I mean, Richie's capable of starting on and this team too, but on every team in the league. And so having him as an option, whether he play right back or we push him higher like we have the last 2 weeks and play him in a wide position, he's got a knack and this dance that he does on the ball that kind of unbalances, you know, defenders, and he has a way to get to the end line or get himself behind. And I think over the last part of last season and tonight, he did a great job of getting balls whipped in front of the goal. Obviously, the one ended up being a goal, but he's added that kind of element to his game where you know, some of these little runs and some of these moves, he's putting final product on it and giving us a real chance to score goals. And so he's versatile. He was a midfielder before he came to us, and we started to turn him into a right back, and now he's giving us some minutes at wing. So when you have a guy who's versatile like that and can deliver when you call upon him, then it's fortunate. It's good for us. But he's a guy that's going to get a lot of starts for us as well, and he's going to play a big role in the season. And he continues to work to get better.
What makes Jonathan so effective kind of at the bottom of the midfield when he generally plays a little bit higher up?
I mean, he's in the core of Jonathan's game, he's a possession player. He has a knack for taking the ball under pressure, spinning away from pressure, knowing where that is. And so from the attacking side, he just does his thing in that position. He's got great field awareness, and like I said, he's got a nice ability to put the ball in areas where he can protect it and get out of it, spin away from it, from guys. And that helps him in that role. And defensively, I think over the years, he's really, really grown in his understanding of defensive reading and his presence and showing up to plays. He made a fantastic play in the second half where a ball was played into the box, and he just doubled back on it and made a huge play. I mean, he's developed that over the last few years, and while he has done great things for us on the attacking side, I still think at the core of what he is a guy who can really help your team have a high level of possession and really connect and bring guys together on the field. And so for right now, he's playing that role for us, at least in these last couple of games.
Greg, earlier in the week, you said that Gallardo's a really nice guy, but his style is more aggressive, and you wanted to see that sort of aggression from him on the field. What did you see from him today? And was he removed for fitness concerns?
I saw, again, it's flashes of it. You know, I think he probably left a few moments on the field that he could have really been more direct. He could have really run at the guy or run behind. He's so dynamic. I mean, his first 5 steps are as fast as anyone I've seen, but we don't see it enough from him, you know, and he can really put outside backs in peril if he uses that speed just a little bit more. And so I think it was a good first day out. It's been a while since he's played a match and felt. I think, you know, last year he got hurt in the match against New York City, for anyone who recalls that, and today he felt it a little bit as well, but I think he's going to be fine. It was more of a knock than it was anything else. But I felt like when that battle started to happen there in the second half, I felt like his mindset switched a little bit, and it was time to throw Richie out to give him a chance to change the game. And so, but I thought it was a good step for Eriksson, and he needs to keep building off of that, and we need to keep pushing him to be more and more aggressive as that wide player, because that's really what his game should be about.
Okay, thanks, guys. We're gonna bring a Char in